the Daily Star. Takers. There has to be something that comes after us that's so far removed from what we're doing, and it has to go in a different direction. If it doesn't, I'd be quite upset. I'd probably have to do it myself, won't I? I'd probably have to invent a new form of music just to do my own editing.
Did you ever think it was going to get this big?
I'd be a liar if I said yeah. Liam would probably say, I thought it was going to be bigger than that, but I didn't think it was going to get this big. Nobody thought that one day we'd have sold 10 million albums and we would have been playing to 250,000 people over 2 days. Anyone that said that they did believe that's a liar, because we didn't. We thought we might play to we thought when we done Earl's Court, which was 20,000, it was like, and they were the biggest indoor gigs ever in Europe. So it was like, we thought, well, this is probably as big as it's going to get. And we done Main Road, which was 40,000. And it was like, well, fair enough. And then it's 125,000. It's just, I don't know where it's going to go from. We're supposed to play Hyde Park next to for 500,000 people. So.
There have been rock concerts at Knebworth before, but never, it is claimed, quite on this scale. The Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Genesis and Queen all played here in the 70s and 80s, but never 2 nights in a row. According to the band's management, such was the demand for tickets, Oasis could have played here for a fortnight with 125,000 people every night. Setting up the site took 2 weeks. The photographers were invited in last Friday for the ritual meeting with the band. Oasis came up the hill and played this as if it was the OK Corral.
Who's from the Daily Star? Takers. We're not really that bad, but it's just that everybody else is so boring that we look bad. I mean, when we done that thing at the Brits, it was like, I think we sort of swore twice on the telly, and then we got called a national disgrace. And I mean, if this country's so stuck up that people do actually swear, honestly they do. My mum swears all the time.
Looking forward to the show? No. Yeah. No. Not at all.
Mike, pull it.
All Police Leave in Hertfordshire was cancelled for the weekend, and a special police video was circulated. The police called it Operation Gold, and as it happens, Oasis fans turned out to be as good as. There were just 10 arrests over the weekend. The fans seem to come from everywhere, from the band's hometown, Manchester, from Sheffield and York, from Newcastle and Norwich, from Littlehampton and Luton. The ticket sales alone for Knebworth generated over £5.5 million. And then there was the merchandising. The band sold about 150,000 T-shirts over the weekend. As soon as the gates opened, it was a race down the hill to the front pen closest to the stage. This was still 2.5 hours before the show began, some 9 hours before they'd get to hear Oasis.
Just different to anyone else that's around. I mean, I know there's a lot of copycat bands now, but when they first arrived, they were just so different for anything. I mean, we've had all dance music and stuff, and they just play their instruments and write good songs. Attitude, the lot. It's wicked.
Just quality, really.
Brilliant frontman. The music's so simple, it's just really easy to listen to and stuff.
It's the culture as much as anything, isn't it? Really?
What do you regard as being the culture?
Lager, cigarettes, alcohol.
Best singer, best songwriter, best band.
How old are you?
14.
How old are you?
14. All of us.
14.
14.
All of you are 14.
Yeah.
Is this all your first concert?
Yeah.
And you chose Oasis?
Yeah.
At Knebworth, most of the fans were under 25. If Oasis's initial fan base was laddish, it's now expanded. There were dance acts on the bill here. Oasis's appeal is apparently broad enough to include those into dance music, the dominant sound of the last few years.
There's been a change in the climate that's actually happened over the last couple of years, spearheaded by Oasis, where you can actually walk into a club now. We've got the Chemical Brothers playing, and they're very closely linked with the band as well, and yet they're an out-and-out club band. It all falls back to one thing: fantastic songs.
Obviously one of the best bands Britain's produced in the last 20 years. They're sexy, they're young, they're of the people, as opposed to, they're of the people and from the people, as opposed to the sort of rock bands or groups that come along that sort of look down on everybody. And I think that they, very much like the Mondays and the Stone Roses before them, that they, even though they don't play dance music or anything, they embrace club culture, they fit with everybody, so it doesn't really matter what sort of music you're into. Oasis sort of work.
All the marketing that we do is always very ground level. It's always fly posting, press advertising. They've got a huge fan base, a huge database of fans of 350,000 who are regularly kept in touch with all that's going on with the band, live dates, releases. It's all, it's all kept at the ground level, and everything else, it kind of flows from there, basically.
The Oasis boast is that they're the best new rock band in the world. But as the band knows, like a candle, popularity in the rock music business can be short-lived.
Yeah, it's nice, but I don't think we'll ever be as popular as the Beatles on a global scale. The gig is just, it's one night or it's two nights, and it's an experience, and you experience it as it's happening, and then it's over. Whereas a record is something you buy on the shelf and you can take it home, and it lasts for as long as you last. And you grow up with it, and then you grow old with it. We can't be the be all and end all of music, surely we don't. There has to be something that comes after us that's so far removed from what we're doing, and it has to go in a different direction. If it doesn't, I'd be quite upset. I'll probably have to do it myself, won't I? You know what I mean? Because everyone's so lazy in this country, can't have their asses do anything. I'll probably have to invent a new form of music just to do my own head in.
Last night's concert at Knebworth was carried live on radio stations in 40 different countries around the world. If the British tabloid press didn't like the show, the fans on the ground did, and for many of them, it was a night to remember.